Another issue is that wild mice could breed with these genetically modified ones, creating a new population of rodents with unpredictable genetic traits. Over time, this could lead to unforeseen consequences not just for the environment, but for human health as well. Scientists cannot fully predict how these new genes might spread through wild populations or how they might affect ecosystems. If the modified mice carry traits that make them more susceptible to infections, or if the genetic changes impact their role in the food chain, it could cause cascading effects throughout local environments. Predators that rely on mice for food might suffer if mouse populations crash, or alternatively, if the new mice outcompete natural ones, it could disrupt the balance of species in entire regions. Moreover, concerns have been raised about the unknowns associated with the modified mice interacting with the ticks themselves. The assumption is that these mice will interrupt the cycle of Lyme disease transmission by making it harder for ticks to acquire or spread the disease. However, if the mice carry unforeseen weaknesses or side effects from their genetic alterations, it's possible that ticks could adapt faster than anticipated. Ticks might begin to spread even more dangerous pathogens, or new tick species could move into the vacated ecological niches. In either case, the result could be worse than the problem scientists were trying to solve in the first place. Some researchers worry about something even more alarming: the idea that new pathogens could evolve because of this genetic intervention. If the immune systems of genetically modified mice are significantly different, they could act as incubators for diseases that might not otherwise have thrived in wild populations. Viruses and bacteria could evolve to exploit the unique vulnerabilities of these mice, jump to other animals, and eventually reach humans. It's a grim possibility that reminds us of past pandemics, where small changes in animals led to massive, unpredictable outbreaks among humans. Despite these risks, the project continues to move forward. Officials argue that Lyme disease poses such a serious and growing health threat that extraordinary steps are necessary. They emphasize the devastating effects Lyme disease can have on individuals: chronic pain, neurological disorders, heart issues, and even cognitive decline. Given the lack of effective vaccines and the difficulty of early detection, they claim that doing nothing would be irresponsible. Yet critics maintain that the price of recklessness could be even higher, potentially creating a bioecological nightmare for generations to come. Adding fuel to public fears is the history of secrecy and misinformation surrounding disease research in the United States. From the experiments at Plum Island to Cold War-era biological weapons programs, people have reason to be skeptical of government and scientific assurances. The fact that the genetically modified mice project was nearly kept secret only reinforces concerns that authorities are not being fully honest about the potential consequences. If past mistakes are any guide, transparency and caution should be paramount, yet neither seems to be prioritized in this case. What makes the situation even murkier is the debate among scientists themselves. Some argue that even with all the risks, genetic solutions represent humanity's best hope to finally gain control over Lyme disease and other insect-borne illnesses. They see genetic engineering as a powerful tool that, if handled properly, could save countless lives. Others caution that nature is too complex and interconnected for humans to tamper with at this scale without expecting serious repercussions. They believe the possibility of triggering new pandemics or causing irreversible environmental damage is simply too high. For everyday people living on the East Coast and elsewhere, the controversy is not an abstract debate. It's a looming, real-world concern. Already, many feel vulnerable whenever they go outdoors, knowing that a simple tick bite could change their lives forever. The idea that thousands of genetically altered rodents might soon be roaming through the woods, fields, and backyards of their communities only deepens their unease. They wonder if they are about to face an even more dangerous threat, one born not from nature but from human ambition and short-sightedness. At the heart of this story is a simple yet powerful lesson. When science races ahead without enough caution, the results can be disastrous. Whether it's experiments at Plum Island, genetically modified organisms, or secret projects hidden from public scrutiny, history shows that mistakes happen, and when they do, the consequences can be catastrophic. In the rush to solve one of today's health crises, we may be opening the door to a future crisis far worse than anything we can imagine today. For now, the public watches and waits, caught between a dangerous disease and an experimental solution that could unleash chaos. Scientists, policymakers, and citizens alike must grapple with the uncomfortable reality that sometimes the cure can be as dangerous as the disease itself. As the modified mice begin to make their way into the wild, only time will tell whether this bold gamble will pay off, or whether it will become another cautionary tale about the perils of trying to control nature with imperfect knowledge and unchecked ambition.